Complexity's turn to ban.
Aw, come on.
DC's turn to ban. Complexity's turn to ban.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Hot Hub TI machine here, presented by Beyond the Summit. We are in the North American qualifiers for the International 7, and this is the lower bracket final in the playoffs. And it is Digital Chaos versus Complexity Gaming. Game number 2, I have Charlie Lacoste and Capitalist. We're all feisty and ready to get into game 2, gentlemen. We actually already have a draft, but coL now on a 3-game win streak of the day. We're laughing about it a bit, but for every win, the reality of coL possibly going undefeated, if not just qualifying today. And how ridiculous of an achievement that would be.
They almost didn't make it into the playoffs.
That's crazy to me. Like, do you think...
Okay, that's fair for both of these teams. That's true for both of
that's
these
true,
teams.
that's true. I forgot DC was also in that tiebreaker.
Yes, sir. And we get the Swindle Melons Earthshaker.
A treat. Truly a treat.
Yes, sir.
Seems like teams are banning the same heroes against Complexity all over again. The problem with DC is that Dubu is playing that hard position 5, giving everything to bo3. He doesn't have to buy wards or anything, maybe a smoke or something early game. So if bo3 doesn't make any space for his team, you end up with Dubu, who's sitting on the brown boots. Cheap item, but he's always on the bottom of a net worth chart. And then you have pretty much 2 heroes who do nothing. Play like that.
And then Mason gets sacked at that point. His safe lane gets run at. His whatever farm he had at that point, just he gets put behind.
Yeah, especially in the last game, you have a hero like Viper on a Mason. You can't do any flashy things. I mean, you right click, you can press the auto attack, use ulti. That's pretty much
it's a
what
Jack
hero does. Yeah, no brainer hero.
5 seconds.
You know, Witch Doctor is when I was looking at the stats for heroes of the various regions, Southeast Asia had a lot of Witch Doctor.
Oh yeah?
We had 0 Witch Doctors, pretty much, like very few of them.
Like we Americans?
Yeah, the NA qualifiers, right? And I was thinking, like, why not that hero, right? Well, like, what's wrong with it? Maledict is really valuable right now. There's all these tanky heroes. Cask has just gotten so good since he's got that level 15 upgrade as well. You know, why not that hero? It's a team fighting, strong laner, all those sorts of things.
Well, I think coL is, you know, asking the same question, showing us, hey, this hero does a lot of work right now. Super useful against that Viper last game. Even though he had a hood and all that stuff, it's just like the Viper has no escape. That stuff, the Maledict gets applied, the Venomancer ult gets applied. You know, at that point you're just like, all right, well, shit, I'm dead.
Death Ward was doing so much work against him. Yeah, it's a source of physical damage, right-click damage that you know just goes and doesn't really care about Kurosa's
lasts longer than 0.6 seconds on like a Bane ult.
Exactly. Good point. This is the hero that does something.
Yeah. Lacoste, what is your least favorite offlaner?
10 seconds
to play against or to play?
No, as in like if Digital Chaos picked it up right now, you'd be like, they're lost.
Show me the heroes. I can see yours.
Hold on.
In the meantime, while you guys look that out, second phase of bans. Complexity get rid of the Lifestealer.
Probably an offlane Huskar. From the more serious ones. I don't know, the offlaners are pretty good. Probably a Broodmother. We saw one Broodmother game.
Yeah, that's a disgusting hero.
Broodmother?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just trying to piece together the 5-man Lacoste.
Yeah, I love pretty much every offlaner that is played.
Well, we got the Lifestealer and the Weaver, like Dakota said. There's Mason heroes targeting out Mason's comfort picks. All he's got left really is maybe a Sven.
What if we applied the rule in a year from now on that you can only ban 1 hero from each player? So you can ban position 1 hero. Ban position 2 hero.
What if multiple heroes can be played in multiple roles, like now?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
some
true.
Riot Games
Yeah,
nonsense
yeah,
you're trying to
exactly.
come up
That
with
was
right now.
my point.
This is unfair discrimination. You are targeting one person. That is bullying.
It's unfun. Remove mana burn. Remove slows.
That's the thing. That guy didn't get the concept that it is fun to screw somebody over. That guy, his whole mana burn thing, he was like, you don't really get any pleasure out of like you using it. You know, it's like it's only detrimental to the other player's experience. That's the point. Me screwing over the other player is what really gets me off.
Whoever came up with that concept, he was definitely bullied as a child.
And talking about the bullies, Doom is banned.
Nice job. I mean, Z-Freak had kind of a awkward positioning at the start on trying to get something set up through the mid lane, but you know, eventually he tag teamed it with Swindle, and we're able to kind of shut down Mason a bit. Enough that Digital Chaos will just decide to ban it out. So other Z-Freak options to consider. He's gone for.
He's been playing a lot of Ricky and Bounty.
Ricky, Bounty, Kunkka was another classic Z-Freak.
So what is DC doing? They just banning out the entire lineup from the previous game. It's not like Complexity can play 5 heroes.
Well, I guess we'll see. The only one that's made it back is the Witch Doctor.
DC's turn to
Gyrocopter going to be coming out, so you get your BKB kind of a hero. Heavy magic damage, AoE, team fight to go on top with the Earthshaker and Witch Doctor. It's just a lot of spread damage already.
Similar to the Venomancer in that way.
10 seconds remaining.
Big difference is that you expect your Gyrocopter
5 seconds remaining.
always moves around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as a carry, you move that sucker around as much as you can because that ultimate is such a good initiating / team fight mechanism.
You know, it's intimidating. That call down comes down, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta get out of this area.
Homing missile too.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that felt so annoying. So, you know, you want to know what Ken Chen does? For all you viewers, when Ken Chen plays Dota, this is his signature. He plays support for Gyrocopter, he maxes homing missile, and he goes to your mid lane, and he sends rockets at your mid player over and over and over
10
again.
seconds remaining.
And then when he's out of mana, he goes back.
I can think of one more
That is
disgusting thing. You
DC's
pick a
turn to
Baron
pick.
and go to your mid lane and you use the first spell like 6-7 times and then you just suicide yourself and go back. And you go once more if it's...
That is the Stand King method.
Mm-hmm.
Back into the suicide neutrals. Skywrath Mage mid.
10
Q, Q,
seconds
Q, Q,
remaining.
Q, Q, Q. Suicide to neutrals. Do it again.
So we do see the
Complexity's
Z-Fridge Bounty
turn
Hunter.
to ban.
Good at building up lots of momentum, getting money for these cores online that much faster. People like the Earthshaker can get their blinks sooner. Gyrocopter can kind of critical mass that much faster. There was always that stigma that Bounty Hunter is typically
10 seconds
weaker
remaining.
against the heavy team fight and kind of push lineups, which I
5
thought was part of the
seconds
reason we
remaining.
didn't see Bounty Hunter pretty much overall, because that's just how the meta seemed to shift. A lot of
Reserve
when you
time.
get to that 20-minute mark, teams just kind of working together. But how have Complexity been able to make this Bounty Hunter work for them?
So they won against Planet Odd with it,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, to be perfectly honest, I think Planet Odd kind of just sucked that game.
DC's
And when you
turn
saw
to ban.
Complexity take something similar, like the Ricky against Team Freedom, like Team Freedom punished it over and over and over again. It didn't work because Team Freedom is a good team.
That Bounty Hunter pretty
10
much did
seconds
nothing in the
remaining.
both games against Planet Odd. It could have been any other position for
5
hero.
seconds
They could have done
remaining.
the same. But the best thing he did was providing some vision, popping the enemy smokes, and giving the gold from ulti. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's not really a high impact hero.
Does Firo ever play Tinker? Is Tinker still a decent hero at all? Remember the old Tinker Bounty Hunter? Tinker's matchup against Lena doesn't sound the worst thing ever, but I'm not a big mid. But Bristleback
10
fifth pick for
seconds
DC,
remaining.
in case you guys forgot that hero was a star of this meta still.
I think
5
Tinker feels a
seconds
little
remaining.
slow.
Slow.
Reserve
Other than that,
time.
we've seen Firo do the Ember Spirit. Queen of Pain, I guess, is still out there. Shadow Fiend right. But may need to also consider a
Copper
Lincoln's candidate.
Invoker, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Invoker's the risky pick.
Invoker.
There we go.
Invoker is going to be the choice here for Firo, it would appear. What was it that made the Invoker seem like a option? Is it just something that Firo have gone for before?
It's a comfort hero for him. He's played Invoker a lot. Something he I guess sort of used to be known for.
It's good versus Bristleback. It has good synergy with the Gyrocopter. It's a scaling mids, which I think if you look at this lineup, Digital Chaos, we're very likely to pick up one of those bully type safe laning heroes, but that does leave all the carry on the Lina. You've got Gyrocopter and a scaling mid that looks to me like you have better late game. So I think it's just like, you don't want to put yourself in a situation when you're forced to fight into Bristleback in 20 minutes for all of these towers and actively push into that hero as well. So Invoker protects against a lot of that.
And it is the riskier pick because not a great matchup against the Lina. Invoker has no wave clear. Lina's just going to constantly shove out your lane. And then at that point you're going to be forced to go into the jungle. Maybe a Sand King finds you, picks you off. Maybe it's a Bat Rider lassos you or something, or you just get invaded and run over before you can do anything.
You know, I actually think the Weehawk Quaswex Invoker here would be
that's what I want.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever done that besides Weehawk, right?
Yeah.
Like that is,
But if
that's pretty rare. I can't think of anybody else who has such a signature style on one hero that nobody's ever copied at a professional level.
Does he still do like the Vanguard and everything too, or is that
Not anymore.
He just,
that
he
was
just
the old
continues to
thing.
innovate on the Invoker.
He just took out the Vanguard.
Innovative Invoker.
He did go the Maelstrom though.
Yeah, it's the Maelstrom
show me the
Quaswex.
Invoker. Let's see spells.
Nothing
Nice.
yet.
Bathroom players.
Well, if he goes for Exort, having a Bounty Hunter will have higher impact. If he goes for a Sunstrike, they have much kill potential with that. Shuriken is a lot of damage, so these Sand Kings, Disruptors are pretty.
There's not a lot of great
easy.
setup.
Yeah.
Early on, the Alacrity has higher impact for Gyrocopter because it's damage increase over the attack speed.
Looks like the bathroom's not going to take too long, and we are going to get right into it here.
This looks more like Eric Cartman bathroom than
What?
the actual bathroom, or he didn't even wash his hands, probably.
He could
Are
have
you
been
saying
returned.
that somebody's just sitting
Yeah,
there with a bucket
yeah.
and he just goes?
Definitely.
So you're saying Swindles is Cartman and Chef Josh is
Chef
his
Josh is
mom?
right there.
Josh!
I need to go.
Change out Bring me the bucket!
Oh god. Hey, well if they get the
Gotta
TI,
go to TI.
Now just imagine, you remember the TI 5, the angry beaver face that Swindles made?
Yes.
Imagine that face.
All right,
so
so
it's an Exort Invoker.
Yeah, it is. Quaswex.
Quaswex,
Not just for
Exort
the
Invoker,
aggression,
huh?
but also the tornado EMP. We saw how effective it is versus the Lina and the laning phase matchup, but it's also
30
very effective
seconds.
versus
Another
Bristleback.
Sunstrike.
Mhm.
That's kind of why I wanted to see it, but it's obviously much more natural in this patch to have
his
Exort.
only real good setup is like the Earthshaker Fissure. Other than that, you know, Witch
Lucky
Doctor
Cask.
Cask, it's not that reliable. He's gonna get two heroes next to each other. The Cask is gonna bounce back
So
and
they share
forth.
Sunstrike damage, not good. You want to have full Sunstrike damage on one target.
The pure damage is pretty effective versus Bristleback, at least.
Siegfried going to give her a high five back to the lane. Is she going to wait for the courier? Do either, it looks like. All the way through the lane instead.
He's Bulba doing the body block, and if you're doing the body block, you might as well grab the courier items for laner. Siegfried knew there was no chance.
So he'll head all the way top, it looks like, to start by giving a bit of an advantage for Moo here and his potential matchup against Forev's Bat Rider.
kind of want. Oh, he's gonna black cannon first.
Get in that harass.
Oh, wow.
Well, at least the lane's gonna push.
Yeah.
I thought about maybe homing missile first.
That is the Kin
What's the
Chen
mana
build.
cost on level 1 homing
I
missile?
think it's 110, 120. Ugh, Jesus.
A lot. It only goes up from there.
Throw out 3 of those. Oh no, it's 2. Maybe 3 by the time your mana regens.
Well, Swindles will be very happy with his lane. It's not a kill lane, right? Disruptor, glimpse back into bristleback, quills. It's not really a thing, right? So you should always be able to just TP.
Well, if you
out of
get
your lane.
low through harass, there always is that possibility if he misplays.
Yeah, sure. That's true of every offlane, though, right? If you misplay, you can die, but you shouldn't against this lane.
I think the threshold's probably like a little higher than you would expect.
Well, I imagine Swindle will lead in having a decent time here. But what up for Rev? He's still able to kind of get 5 CS already under his belt in this matchup. I imagine the Bat Rider, if he's left kind of in a more of a one-on-one against the Gyro.
Watch bottom. Swindle's gonna pop his mango for the... Oh no, I thought he was gonna pop the mango for the Fisher kill on the creep.
Nah, I think he'll be able to take the wave all the way back. Bounty Rune's going to be there for Dubu, and a race for the Rune at the top lane has led to a chase onto Demon here. Bulba follows it up with a Burrow Strike. Abed should be able to hit it home, but no, the Coconut stops him in his spot, and it's going to be Z-Freak who actually claims the first blood. Now Z-Freak is able to slowly chase down Abed as well.
This reminds me
Firo's
of
got
Game 1.
Sunstrike. Do it, Firo. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh no.
Unfortunately, not quite there to get a hold of Abed in. Bubble will show up. Sal will be used. Well, Z-Freak though is able to get participate in some first blood action here. And he'll rotate Belly back up, grab a bounty rune for himself. So a nice little start for him to be able to make that impact in the early game. And this is really some basic stuff, your classic 2-on-2 kind of a mid lane with some occasional rotations. They like to just kind of trap each other for the runes and try to make plays happen off of that. And mid laner or off laners here are just kind of playing their lane safe. You know, not looking to kind of get caught out by anything. Not that there's too much potential here between Dubu and Mason to even get a setup.
I'll dig that.
It's going to be a good time for Swindles here.
They need to be careful not to overextend on the bottom lane, especially when Shaker gets level 4, level 5. With the reputation of Sunstrike, they can get an easy pick off.
Okay, well, it's actually Swindle running all the way forward. He's going to use the trees to run all the way up and through. And Mason could try to hit him with some quills, but he's not going to bother chasing away at Swindle too much, I imagine, if he's trying to focus on his CS game.
Yeah, if Mason was a little closer to Swindle right there, that's very possibly a kill.
Is there never a case where you're in a situation where...
No way! Are you kidding me? He pops one and TPs after the glimpse. It's not even close.
No, if he's closer and he chases him down and he saves glimpse for the TP.
What?
He had like 2 or 3 quill stacks on him.
You're crazy, Charlie.
There's some off-laner bias here.
I'm just telling you, like, if I died to that lane, I would be ashamed, you know? Like, that what I mean is, like, you should not die to that lane.
You shouldn't, but a lot of things shouldn't happen.
Or are you just like, Swindle Melons will find a way? Is that what you're saying,
Come on,
Charlie?
man. No, I'm not throwing shade at Swindle. He's played really well this series.
He has.
Oh, move for Firo here. Bubble leading in, set up from the smoke play. Dubu's also getting in on the action. And this should lead to a swift takedown. Firo really has no place to run. And suddenly DC are going to be able to get their mark on the board.
What a kill stealer. Did you see that Dragon Slave? He
I'm
did
okay.
it on purpose.
I'm okay with it. DC knows who their breadwinner is.
Accidentally on purpose.
I mean, is it a problem, huh? You got a problem with Lina getting the kill?
How
You want to give credit to the support because they're the one who took the initiative getting the smoke?
how is he under leveled against Firo? Did I miss something?
Abed?
Oh, I guess he was out of lane for a really long time when they chased.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
That's why. Because I was looking at it, he's like, he's still level 4 and Fearo's level 5, and they just killed him.
Radiant Courier goes down as well. Z-Freak gets a nice pick on that on the top lane. And is already rotating over. Abed is very far forward in his positioning. Demon's going to get things started. Throws out the coconut. The Sunstrike could be there as well, but Abed runs to the other side, but it doesn't matter. Will end up going down. The follow-up, Bulba TP's in. Dubu's like, I'll drop a kinetic field and run the other way.
I do like this different look from Dubu this time around. He's moving around with Bulba rather than just staying static in his own lane.
I think they should share more of that gold early on for the wards, career upgrades, smokes, so we can get the items. I mean,
Boots
you
maybe.
Huh?
Boots maybe.
Dire's
Yeah.
bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, you always have that Bulba, greedy Bulba, evil Bulba. I need to buy myself a boots.
Yeah, you're right. It's usually that if you buy boots first, you upgrade courier,
You should.
and then the 5 position can get his boots.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, top lane. Move for Smooth. He's gonna be forced to dish out the call down and then turns around and barrages Bulba apart. Forev trying to get on it. Lines up with Demon, the coconut, stuns him down. Dubu will still be able to get the finish on the move, but this could turn into 3 kills if Demon can do it. Can't quite move in close enough for the last right click without too much tower damage, so he'll pull off. Turns into a 2-4 trade, and we're not done yet. Abed gets the finish onto Z-Freak. That was in the middle lane right here. Looks like Abed has dished out his Laguna debut.
This Voodoo Restoration pickup by the Witch Doctor. You see a lot of Witch Doctors go for just a 202 build, the higher levels in Maledicts, because it is such a powerful ability right now, but his pickup of the value Voodoo Restoration has been super good this game.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, Batrider is a hero that doesn't really burst you down. He's going to burn you down over time. Voodoo gets more value out of that.
Jimmy has 1k gold. It's really farmed.
Smoke movement here from DC. Long rounded approach. Forev doesn't even. And now he does. Didn't have the point into the lasso, but now an Arcane Rune lasso could be coming their way.
They've
Right
got
in
a
through the
big,
mid lane.
big set.
And they grow right in here. And after the Burrow Strike does conclude, they will stack on top of it with the lasso. He is able to go into the Ghost Walk though, but they have the dust ready, and Dragon Slave will help get the finish. Abed picks that one up, and the game goes even 4-4. Z-Freak is dancing outside a bit. Still not level 6 yet, but
I'll take that.
hoping to see possible opportunities here.
Where did Swindles use his Echo?
That's a great question. Yeah, I'm too sure though. Bulba to the low ground, eats a rocket. Oh, he's going to commit in for it with the call down rocket barrage. That will do it. But yeah, I'm looking at Swindle here. He's got a cooldown of the dunk, and I don't remember hearing one, so not too sure. Might have been a miskill opportunity or a misclick.
ROTK, Echo Slam maybe.
We've got a big Ancient stack with Alacrity on Gyrocopter. When he's got maxed out Flat Cannon, they can clear through that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Most Gyrocopters can't do Ancient stacks that efficiently anymore.
Is there any stacks for Bristleback?
For Bristleback?
No, there isn't. Not
negative.
Ancients.
No ancient stacks there.
No stacks anywhere.
Not
Strike
enough damage.
after a rocket? Couldn't
Oh.
quite get it. If it did though.
Well, it was a hard one.
Bottom tower
Hit
is
a
under
Sunstrike
attack.
on a stun target.
Good point, Lacoste, yeah.
The sarcastic humor is it's really something special. Nice
Yep.
and ripe.
You know, on a non-negative note, I do want to highlight how well Jimmy stepped up his game, just like not this series, but the last one as well. Been doing a lot of work,
Good job, Jimmy.
and it was like when he got when he
Was
got.
that a sarcastic?
Like, what
No,
the
no,
hell
no.
is
Jimmy
that,
is
dude?
playing really well. I'm not sarcastic this time.
Okay, okay.
Just the aura of you is so overwhelming that you clapping sounded sarcastic.
No, Jimmy is playing well. He played well in the previous game.
Like when he was kicked, like there was this. Okay, we got to engage.
Yeah, movement in from DC. Instant Laguna onto Firo. Maldic is going to find connection on the Bulba, and they'll have to settle their lasso onto Demon. Demon is going to be going down first in this fight. Sunstrike finds connection onto Forev. He'll be going down. Now they're looking to go with Bulba. Bulba dead. Makes it a 2-for-1 trade. Unfortunately, as they swept in, Firo in a good position to avoid a lot of the trouble. He does eat the Laguna, but simply walks up to the high ground and avoids the gank.
Jimmy tries his best this game because of the kick, so he plays better. That's the thing.
That's what I was getting to. Like when they kicked him originally, is because they had like there were issues with maybe how much dedication he had at that point. And I think it's become very apparent that Jimmy plays better or tries harder when he has
kicked.
When he has something to prove.
Yeah. There's a big difference between popular Jimmy that loses dedication and last chance Jimmy. You know, last chance Jimmy is like
Jimmy you want to play with.
Yeah, that's his history. I remember there was like EG games he missed because he wanted to go to the gym and stuff, you know?
Well, gotta get
when he went to the Philippines and played with TNC, you see engagement down on bottom. That's a really good setup skill.
Zoned them all off, but Swindles goes for round 2, stepping in with the dunk. The call down also there. Bulba diving in down south. They will get the chase and get the finish, but Moo also goes down. Mason able to make it away before the fissure does come out, and it's going to be a 1-for-1, but with Moo going down on complexity side, makes it a bit more sweeter for DC.
Yeah, Maledict's really good, but
when he went to TNC in the Philippines, like he was the captain, so all the burden was on him. He had all the responsibility, so he stepped it up.
Do you think Jimmy would have been able to, let's say, qualify for TI if he had chose to go with his original team when he was going down to South America instead of Southeast Asia?
Oh.
Remember that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, let's be real. He had some real talents on TNC. Raven.
Yeah, that's true.
All those guys. I think he had players that played well within that illusion meta.
He also matured a lot in real life, too. Settled down. He's got a lady. That could do a lot to you. Maybe enhance your Dota game.
I think she's super good for him. Like she complements him really nicely.
Yeah, he's got a good balance in the game now, and in real life, we'll see that if it's going to be something that will attribute all the way to TI or not.
So if you want to get good at Dota, join a good team, get a lady.
Get a lady, get a spouse. Get whatever you want.
I know what chat feels bad, man, right now. Never gonna be a pro player. Can't get a lady.
Can't get a girlfriend.
Not with that attitude.
Maybe that's why Bulba hasn't found that much success.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God damn it. He's about to lose this game, Charlie. He's about to get knocked out of his spot for TI, and you're gonna kick him there, too?
This game's not over yet. This game's not over yet, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. He could make it to TI, and with all that money, you could just buy a lady. So it's all good. It'll come back around, a return investment. We'll see, though. Oh, nearby, Bulba being scouted up.
This is the first time that I wanted to say the same joke as you, Dakota, but ended up not saying it. It's because I thought it was appropriate.
What?
Buy a lady.
Okay, he doesn't have to buy a lady.
That's sexist, Dakota. Come on.
You can buy whatever.
Buy a man.
Yeah, it's your money. I mean, you can buy whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Are we just condoning slavery right now? Buying people?
Yeah,
all right, you can't buy anyone. All right, but he can probably try to buy some temporary happiness. All right, I'll leave it at that.
So you're saying a woman is a temporary happiness?
I didn't say the woman. I said he could just buy some temporary happiness, whatever that may be.
Yeah, we should stop, probably.
Yeah, let's move away from slavery and go to drugs, guys.
That's what
I didn't
this
say drugs
is
either.
all
You guys are putting
about.
words in everyone's mouth here. Drugs are bad.
There's the alacrity clearing. Speaking of drugs, they've got a hopped-up gyrocopter.
Yeah. Just went
Clearing
through
ancient stack.
straight to Halberd, but bottom lane where he's going to have to get in attendance here. We have Stackstorm committed down below with the retreat out. Forev is going to try to take a package with him. Grab the hold of little Swindle here, but he gets a glimpse back to the other side. Sunstrike just a bit off its mark, trying to go for Dubu, but Dubu is spotted under that track and eventually will get torched up by Moo. The rest of the DC squad hasty on their retreat, still being spotted out, but coL on the prowl here. Swindle looking to lead in from behind the tower. Mason wants to stay around here.
Well, he is really tanky, and it was only Dubu that died. Meanwhile, Bulba's getting space up top. Abed pushed in mid.
That was pretty big mistake there from Swindles. He tried to go for the enchant totem stun on the Batrider as he moved forward, instead got lassoed. If he hits that stun, they get the kill on Batrider and then a whole lot more. Very likely. Because that was kind of a win for DC. They were overextended, and they also had a hero pushing in mid and a hero pushing in top lane. So they only gave away a disruptor for that. That's quite good.
Well, it was unfortunately a bit awkward there for coL. I mean, Moo was able to make it away. He had to drop down the cooldown to get out, but I like the clever, quick smoke turnaround, but unfortunately for them, Forev was in a pretty good spot to be able to just spot out the gank and Firefly away.
Seems like Bulba spent some of his money on his own pleasure, because that Blink Dagger is coming up late for him.
You could say the same for Forev, though. He went drums first, so we're not going to be seeing a Blink for him for, I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that.
Well, Bulba is nearing his, maybe 500, 600 gold away.
Oh. Move for Z-Freak. They actually caught him with the dust. He'll turn around and get the extra move speed.
Well, Bounty Hunter picked up a bottle at early stages because he is the real Bounty Hunter. He was just picking up those runes, getting the XP. Nice item to have, actually. Doesn't need any other mana regen items.
And your hero's already slow enough when it comes to rotations and what you accomplish. Oh, bottom!
Well, hard move in. It is going to be a lot of pressure onto Mason. They hit him with a fissure, and then the smack on the back coming out should get it in. But Abed also going to get the finish onto Z-Freak at that same moment. Up across the world up here. Back below, though, still action breaking out. Swindle in a bit of trouble here. Hit with the Thunder Strike, but here comes Pharaoh and Demon looking to zone back for Ev. Can they catch up with the Tornado? No, they can't. They'll shift down low, and Abed will begin to sweep in. A bit low on mana, though. Look at this, they get a good glimpse back. This one for Demon. It looks like they should be able to get a few right clicks. Can he get denied? No. Abed will be able to pick that one too. It's another charge to his Bloodstone. Bulba eats a rocket. And the Sunstrike.
Yeah, I was about to say, good thing he popped that shrine. Yep. Died, lost his Blink Dagger gold again.
Good survive there. This one's close though, guys. Less than 1k advantage for complexity at the moment. Back and forth.
Whose late game do you like better?
Well, this Bristleback doesn't have much items at the moment. What is he sitting on?
Got the hoods and Soul Ring Vanguard.
He needs more items to be effective. I'm not feeling Bristleback this game.
I think Complexity have the better late
Gyro Invoker.
Yeah, I think
Plus
Invoker does out. Despite, you know, Lina and Quap being super impressive late game, I do think Invoker still beats them out. And then Gyrocopter is probably superior to Bristol.
Especially with Alacrity.
Yeah. And then I think the supporting cast is better for Complexity as well. Outing the Bounty Hunter, obviously. But Witch Doctor is quite good late game because Maledict and Earthshaker is very, very strong.
Yeah, but if this game drags, let's say past 60 minutes, what do they have for a Bristleback? Bristleback goes 6 slotted.
Earthshaker can get a
Silver Edge, Aghanim Scepter, Witch Doctor through Strike.
I think past 60, like if you go to the super late game and DC's Sanking and Disruptor start getting really farmed, then it may actually swing back to the favor. But I would say like, you know, 40, 55, that area Complexity should be.
I would be incredibly surprised if even past 60 minutes Dubu has something like an Agnes.
Sorry, I meant 600 minutes.
Okay, there we go.
600 minutes. Huh?
600 minutes, Dubu picks up.
Bounty runes are worth 2,000 gold apiece, you know. Dubu just has to pick up 3 of them and he's good.
Scan from Radiant right in front of the Roche Pit actually reads positive, but it's a smoked Complexity team who are beginning their wrap up towards the top lane. It looks like Forev is in quite a bit of trouble. Spotted out under that track. They'll set it up with a Fissure Blink in and get the extra bit of money. This one goes to Swindle. He is that step closer to finishing out what looks like the Force Staff next. Going back a bit to the note of the Bounty Hunter, Lacoste, you said something about the bottle and how it's a great mana item. Do you think, I know we don't see many Bounty Hunters really anymore, but that means they will be mostly shying away from going the kind of a Greaves build-up?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that build anymore.
I guess which Doctor you have on your team is
enough.
Is
Solar
enough heal.
Crest, maybe a Force Staff, just to get someone out of the focus. Lotus Orb.
Dire's
I mean, Bottle is good for... I mean, he's just running around. Even if he dies, he picks up a rune, because he's always there in the enemy fort.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Missed out on a deny on their offlane tower.
Oh, coL did right here,
yeah. Solar Crest now complete for Mason. You're very rapidly approaching the maxed out Bristleback. Level 15, you got 225 HP, Solar Crest, a lot of magic armor. This is one of the peaks of Bristleback. He remains very relevant for probably another 15 minutes, but after that he does start dropping.
Imagine you gotta do what you can here. You're looking at a lineup on complexity side that just scales better overall throughout the game, and this is a big power peak for you for at least 15 minutes. Let's do it. Bulba might have just spotted out Zefrik. It looks like hits him up with dust, and the two of them will begin to go to work. Stuns there, and Mason will the last hit in. And now DC move inside the Roche pit. Gets quickly sunstriked by Firo, so of course Complexity are going to be privy to this, but they will be down a man, so their chance of approaching might be, I don't know, Swindle, Blink, Dunk, can't help themselves it looks like. They're going to begin to head over, but it's going to be too late to stop the Roche. The Roche is going to go down, and they're still going to commit in. No, we'll throw a tornado and do a 180. But, okay, that was close. He went in, couldn't lasso, then dusted afterward.
That's the power of Bristleback right there. He's both the hero that lets you do Roshan very quickly, and he's the hero that prevents the enemy team from fighting into you. Right? Like, they were going to, but I think it would have gone badly for them. Fighting into Bristleback is incredibly tough at this point.
Alright, so if you're Complexity, do you just farm and avoid fights altogether during the duration of this Aegis, and knowing that you just kind of could continue to be a bigger problem in the later game? I mean, they'll farm, but the problem is that they get caught farming. Moo, close to that Roche area still, doing the ancient camp, is now going to get hit up. Bulba leading in with the stun. Farev locks him as follow-up with the lasso, and as a cherry on top, drop down his own call down at the back end of that one. Now, Farev trying to blink in and get a hold of Swindle, but Swindle is able to pop out.
Gyro's not ready to fight. Neither is Invoker, so yeah, I think coL have to try and avoid fights. DC may force it though. May actually go high ground soon.
Gyro's down. They got Aegis. There's an Arcane Rune on Luna as well.
They should take tier 2 towers before committing. They just want to build up the advantage. Just use the Aegis so Complexity can't even defend those.
What does the Invoker have right now?
Your Invoker has just the Axe here. Looks like he's going to be going for the Blink Dagger next.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They'll have time to build up, as you mentioned. They'll still have to go through tier 2s. They can make that first breach into the base, secure tier 3, go back for shrines. It's a lot of money for DC, but time is available to Complexity to still work with here. I guess a lot of it will be coming down to how they decide to itemize this a bit. Going Yasha, Black King Bar to be finished on Moo. Do you think that's good enough for him to be able to get it in? Is that what you mentioned that he was going to be waiting for, the BKB?
Yeah, I think there's very little chance. Like, because he won't deal with the Bristleback, but he does still have an issue with Bat Rider, Sand King, Burrow Striking, as well as the Laguna Blade.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is
Trades happening both sides here as Firo moves in for the tier 1 mid. You know, DC obviously have already made the move for the tier 2 top. DC trying to get a hold of anything. Forever been coming up a bit short on trying to get these catches. Or maybe Complexity have just been that much faster, but here again, the be able to narrowly make it away.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Rebel back out the other direction. Meanwhile, Radiant Courier goes down. Another swift snipe right there. Looks like from Z-Freak.
Swindles really likes this Yule Scepter stand pick rather than Force Staff.
I thought it was actually going to be a Force Staff, but
Against Disruptor, it's good.
Yeah, for sure. But I just think it's like this constant trend with him. I think he just really likes. It's good, but it's also I think he likes the item a lot.
yeah, definitely.
With this build on treads, you don't have a whole lot of mana to work with oftentimes. All based around the Soul Ring. I think it's in part the regeneration. Super valuable.
Gathering of DC here. It looks like we'll have a smoke play. And there they go. Off still while they have this kind of fighting advantage. Looking to take it to complexity side while they're probably banking on the fact that Moo is farming it up. But yeah, the sweet little blueberry rune just looks so tasty. Moo unfortunately going to pay the price for trying to go for it. He still wanted to get and grab it, but he does pay for his life.
He could deny it at least.
Demon is going to be the next victim as he is nearby. Forev looking to go in for any additional follow-ups, but they are not going to be found.
That was nice by Mason. He was showing top, and Complexity is like, there's no way they fight without their Bristleback, right? I can take this room. But lo and behold, he got debated.
Glimpse send back. That's to the bottom lane. Firo long gone from this one and no TP. That means that DC can kind of just begin to go in now. After now clearing out Swindle Melons, they don't have to worry about his big dunk defense, and that's going to be a tier 3 down and possibly the racks. Look at Dubu. Oh, he's going to send him back even further. Oh, Firo's never going to be able to make it back home.
It feels like a time travel hub.
Now he's isolated.
Back all the time.
Oh my god.
Firo back now, but he's back into a Laguna. Back to the grave. And DC take a Rax at tier 3, walk away, means they could do shrines now. The rich get richer, and suddenly they're going to be 7k plus in net worth advantage.
What do you build on Bristle now? Probably a Radiance, just to secure the late game if the game drags.
Yeah, he's
go for Octarine Cork, he's getting close to level 20, so he spell Lifesteal. He should be able to just tank it while Lina gets some of more damage items. She can do the
I wouldn't mind
tower
the
damage.
Shivas and Heart build. Oh, he's going Heart. He's going Heart next. Yeah, I guess if you're going high ground, makes sense.
coL creeping in
Also
though.
the hero that hits tower.
Thinking about making a move for Bristle. He is all alone here. Z-Freak will spot him as he tries to frantically run his way out. Can he remain on his tail though? Mason is juking his way all the way through. They're frantically trying to find him with the Sunstrike. He needs 10 seconds before he can even TP out.
These Sunstrikes are not connecting throughout the whole game.
Yeah, there's no real good setup.
Oh, it is getting hot now. Forev trying to move in while it is going to be Firo and Mason going toe-to-toe up and above. A big stack storm going to be dropped right on top of Z-Freak. That will easily take him down. Laguna on for Demon, and he will try to make a TP, but they will have a stun waiting for him. Mason's still waiting up here, stunned up. The rest of Complexity now desperately try to make it out here.
Heart complete for the Bristleback. There is seemingly nothing that stops them from going high ground.
Yeah, they have no burst damage. The hero will not die.
They have to poke and poke and poke for so long, and he just backs up, regens up again.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh, the meanwhile, your tower's going to be dropping fast because Mason actually hits pretty hard. Gets his levels of Warpath up, and Lina obviously is the big right clicker right now, almost completing an MKB.
I mean, we already on the coL. All they need is just that one dunk defense to hopefully keep him in the game. Is it at that point already?
Yeah, kind of is. Swindle's got to go hard here. He's got to get to the backline somehow.
6-7 man echo probably to get them back into the game.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, has Mason picked up that heart yet?
Yeah.
he has it in hand now. It looks like they spotted out Z-Freak. Hard to be a bounty hunter at this point in the game. You're trying to move out and catch people from behind with tracks and trying to get the intel provided for your team so you know exactly when DC could be making their approach and from where, but yeah, track money is not going to become nearly as simple. He's just still has not been able to get that Solar Crest. That Solar Crest might never happen at this rate.
His Invoker levels are just so slow.
No, he didn't choose any talent, that's why.
I think in general, just the hero, it's like 31 minutes. You're not supposed to be totally online just yet, but look how much DC have accomplished in those 30 minutes.
Well, they are getting a lot of pickoffs with this Batrider.
Speak of the devil! Nice Batrider initiation lasso pullback. The Swindle is kind of tanky here. Hits the Yules off afterward, but that only sets up an easier stun for Bulba. Maybe Ahmed will be able to bring him down. Ahmed now Wicked sick. And Swindle is going to be taken out for a minute. That you're not going to have to worry about that vicious dunk defense. Makes it smoother now for DC to try to get some more siege work done. And now is here comes the siege unit. Mason running right in to the front lines and begins to go to work on this tier 3. We'll have to see what Complexity can do. It's not their tournament life on the line, but they were just one win away from moving on to the grand final. It looks like DC are giving them a run for the money and trying to take it to a full game 3. That's going to be the tier 3 down. Mason loses all of his mana.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
DC are still fighting it out. coL as they move in. Moose says we gotta do something about it. Tries to run in first, maybe in hopes of baiting out some spells or BKBs or anything, but DC are not taking the bite. And they pull out just entirely here.
Yeah, catch.
Yeah, once again we will see game pretty much ending without the big clash. One is gonna get picked off or they just chop the Raxes. People are forced to go in because you have mega creeps and you know you can't defend it, so the game just pretty much ends.
Say it ain't so. Could be right though. Looks like DC are coming together now though, once again. Maybe a chance to spot out Firo, who is simply running out from his team and trying to get some sort of setup.
Just some cheese time.
Yeah. I mean, really just kind of going down the docket here for DC. Gentlemen, what was the tipping point, you would say? It felt like coL had a decent thing going, but what, you think the Roshan fight?
It was right after DC took the Roshan fight, and then I think they felt like emboldened to take fights, and Forever like really got into the game, got some good pickoffs with the lasso, and then coL just sort of chain fed.
Yeah, I didn't feel any synergy between the coL and as Charlie said, no good setups for a Sunstrike. Also this bounty hunter, I mean, he's just doing his own thing, but not much contribution actually.
Nice stun, cancels out the TP of Mason, and now the 4 of them are gonna take on the mighty Bristle here. Well, removing all of his mana will make it a lot easier, that's for sure. Needs the cheese though, has that mana back. Swindle says we might not want to do this any further. It's been taking way too long. The rest of the team couldn't end up showing up. In fact, they're looking to move over and catch the teammates on the way in, and it looks like they will be rewarded for it. Dugo's been spotted out. He'll get hit with a track and a Sunstrike, and coL will pocket the money.
Oh, poor Dugo.
Only one that was kind of the reinforcement on the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had the right idea there. Hey, they're 5-man committing to our Bristleback, who's not going to die. Let's punish them for this. Unfortunately, I guess the rest of his team wasn't on the same page or couldn't get there fast enough. But I do think it was the right idea by him.
Money to burn.
I think I should have tried to go in through lane on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they kill that Bristleback quickly, because he has the cheese.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know, they didn't blow Echo Slam, actually. That's the only way you kill Mason, right? Is that you chain stun him because he has the cheese.
Fly, my pretty, fly.
Perhaps just preserving the Echo for absolute means. With being without that as a high ground defense could be detrimental here. But here is DC giving it another try towards the bottom lane.
These Lina items are coming in too fast.
Yeah, suddenly.
MKB, then suddenly BKB. Is there any KB? KBBQ?
KGB.
KBBQ?
KBBQ.
Okay. Possibly some KBBQ after they qualify for TI. See though. Some pressure, cold snaps. coL committing spells to try to keep DC outside the base. Some good damage there on the Forev. Now the movement from Swindle. Two-man dunk is there, followed Fissure. Then the Static Storm is going to be connecting right on top, but Moo has his BKB and tries to fight it out. They are going to be able to burst through that first life of Abed. Mason eats a lot of damage next, but he's still durable enough. Now the return fire coming out Laguna, not going to be enough complexity. Having the hold now, we'll be able to clean up another. 3 will be going down, it looks like, as complexity hold their base.
Oh, Mason.
Oh.
No.
Nearby TP almost caught.
Great read by Swindles. Like, he needs to jump on that Lina. Even if she does have the Aegis, it doesn't matter. Like, she's the damage dealer. So at least, like, during that down timer, like, she's gone. There's still not a whole lot of damage coming out from DC. And then when she comes back up, you can immediately put pressure on her again. So he recognized that opportunity, saw through the Aegis.
Yeah, when he jumped, thought it was gonna be a bad idea, but the Lina just instantly died. They cut the BB's HP into half, then it just went. Once again, took the 3 of them with back gold. That's a lot of gold for them, actually. And also, I feel that Heart of Bristleback is paying off.
Feel like he needs some damage or something?
Yeah. Maybe AC would have been a better choice. Or Radiance, as I mentioned, to prepare for the late game if they somehow manage to defend.
Oh,
You saw him on top when they try to go on him. Put a Maledict level 4. Doesn't matter if you get a mark.
Z-Freak spotted out. Forev has that gem. And it doesn't take much for them to be able to swarm him. And take him out of the game.
I like this pickup. Swindle gets a BKB.
Yeah, no echo for how long?
That's 15 seconds now.
It's close, but they're already getting hit inside. This tier 3 in the top lane is not going to be here much longer. They can't take out a defense. He is counting down this clock. Walking in now. Mason gets hit with that EMP. Heads out the other direction. Now your Echo is going to be up and ready to work with here. Maybe even DC timing it out perfectly.
I think this really goes back to Austin's point earlier when we were talking about high ground defense. Like, despite how far ahead DC is, they had the Aegis last time. Like, the fact that you have to attack from one angle, and your opponents know that, it just makes it so difficult.
Yeah, it sounds stupid, but it's actually legit. Especially when your 2 racks is down.
And that's something that's been done forever, and then there's only been, what, like enhanced further with like shrines being thrown in. Now even that one alley you have to siege into.
The type of heroes as well.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we no longer see the sniper lone druid. That was probably the worst.
Absolutely was the
But
worst.
I think like Lina is still Invoker. Like those heroes are very reminiscent of high ground.
Oh, all the people to find. It's Captain Swindle perched up on the high ground. He's going to be forced to dish out the Echo. Does connect onto the 2. And they're almost able to bring down Bulba. Mason, though, still holding on pretty strong here. He will be the first one to be dropped, but Moo is going to be the next one under that gun. He is going to be handled, even on the backside. Quickly Yulesed up as he tries to get out a good death ward. Buyback going to be forced out from the gyrocopter now. And the complexity may be going all in for this Harava defense. It looks like they've barely managed to be able to get Dubu. No, Firo rushes past him, sees Abed, dances around him a bit. Forev, blinks, but he only gets to the high ground. He ends up going down. That's a gem on the deck that Z-Freak's going to be able to move in and pick up. Mason still running around as they try to maybe kite back this Bristleback. Moo is going to be eating his own homing missile now. On the other front, they chase down Firo. Mason and Abed looking to pursue. Firo's able to make it out the other direction. Now Mason has to help out Abed, who's trapped on the other side. Thanks to that fissure. Swindle gets hit with the Laguna. The Dragon Slave, one more auto attack. Not quite enough to get the finish. Over on the other side, double Deafening Blast coming out from Firo, and coL trying to surround onto DC at this moment. Boba has returned from the dead and is now going to be TPing into the shrine, meeting up with Mason, but it looks like this one is over. The dust will finally settle, and DC, who eats some hard losses there for all day, does cost coL a buyback on move for the defense.
Yeah, I don't think they realized that Swiddle Melons had a BKB in that fight, because they needed to chain stun him and burst him immediately before he got that off. But they just thought he was gonna die quickly, but you know, he pops the BKB and then just destroys them in that fight.
Yeah, Boba instantly died, had 0 impact. Then he came back later, managed to catch the Lina. Even if he messed up that enchant totem, like, the idea was still right. He was hunting the Lina the whole entire time.
Yeah, but if you look at the mid matchup heroes, Invoker doesn't provide the 30% of Lina is doing right now. She solo killed what, 15,000 main net Gyro with 2 seconds, 3 seconds. When you get that one big item, one big damage item, Bloodthorn, Daedalus, MKB and Lina, pretty much, I don't know what to say about it.
To be fair though, if it was an Invoker with 24,000 net worth versus a 15,000 Bristleback, you could probably see the Invoker one shot, or not one shot.
Yeah, can't really one shot, but if it's Lina against this kind of a Bristleback, she just melts it as well.
Yeah, I think the point is, look, Lina will always get ahead like this, right? And Invoker will always naturally be behind. This Lina, like, wins the early game, wins laning phase matchups, scales well into the late game, and makes really good use of the gold that you naturally get by just existing.
Successful Roche takedown is going to be acquired for DC. They'll get their Aegis, and they will, of course, be handing it over to Abed. We'll trade it out with the Eels for now.
I think at the commit buyback on Gyro, as long as you still don't feel the impact of Gyro.
C3. And they're getting feisty here, fighting between 3 DC members. This one 7 and 13 now. Tough game for your bounty hunter. And now the game plan going to be drawn out here. It looks like it's Dubu kind of setting the plan here, or they're saying push out all lanes, keep the pressure on Complexity while you can, while that buyback is still in use.
They're so close to having an MKB on Gyrocopter. Like, he's willing to buy out too because he doesn't have buybacks. So.
Gyro would naturally go for disassemble Heaven's Halberd and get a butterfly, but Lina already prepared herself for that, so he can't go for butterfly because of the MP on Lina. The one way he can build if the game drags, just get KB for damage, and then instead of going for butterfly, AC.
We'll have to see if it's a big enough ticket item to help hold once again, because at this point in the game, coL would need a couple of strong defensive holds to reclaim the network back and try to take this into a late game scale. Mason's already making his move in. He has the cheats. This is almost like an extra life for here, Bristleback. Him and Abed, though, are sieging out. It's going to be already forcing out the glyph from coL. He already lost one set of racks here, mind you, so this is going to be the 3rd one to go down. Mason's there first, kind of stuck within this ice wall. Or just frantically moving around their positioning while DC are waiting outside. Looks like they'll step off, purge away the track while they can. And head back indoors. It's a slow sieging process, very methodical, not exciting.
Very effective.
Not exciting, but effective.
This is pretty much how you got to do it now. TI7 is on the line.
Yeah, it's very, very tense. The team's fighting out, even though when they're pushed in a situation where they're mega.
Smoke out time. coL know that they're just going to be sieged away.
Yeah.
Chip.
It's time to do coL things here. coL classic. Let's move out. Can they get in a good position before DC get themselves in the lane? Oh, they are so close. What is happening? Do they know?
Oh,
the lead up! Oh, they got
Yes.
the lead up first. They move it with a dunk, and they'll take out her extra life. Quickly, though, a follow-up for Rev. Grabs a hold of that Moo Gyrocopter, tries to pull him within the trees, but they wait for the second life. Swindle Melons is there and ready. Bulba making his move in with the epicenter, though, plus the call down, and they are going to be able to get the takedown of a bed, but it's Mason, the next big boss, popping his BKB and now trying to run out and away. What can coL do with this bit of momentum? They're thinking about making a chase here. Swindles wants to move in. He gets the Yule's connection onto Mason, which will set up the Glimpse. The Glimpse will send Swindle all the way back. And Firo cannot go any farther. But hey, coL do the push outside the base, and they have now given themselves more time to defend.
What a play from Swindles once again with a big echo just on Lina, just enough to take her first life. Also, Lina should be able to pop a BKB. You can't time the enchant totem before he pops a BKB.
Yeah,
that should have been
after Aegis. After Aegis.
I mean, I felt like the entire sequence shouldn't have happened. Like, Bulba pinged it out. You saw him ping out, hey, they're smoking here, just along the tree line. I feel like Sam read that, like, perfectly. But unfortunately, Abed walks in.
I don't know, maybe they didn't think coL had moved out so far down the lane already, and Abed was trying to be there to maybe catch out the first few, but...
Maybe he felt like he could blink back, or he had a BKB and Aegis, so he felt safe.
He's got Daedalus now.
coL are doing it again. They're drawing out a new game plan, a new angle they could finagle in there.
This one definitely won't work though.
This time though, Rev is waiting for him, scouts the report, grabs a hold of Demon and pulls him into certain death. Ooh, as the follow-up.
Oh no!
That is not the dunk. Moo is going to be going down first as he fights things out with the BKB. Swindle could be next, it looks like, on the back end of his Echo. He gets the Yules, but they have a Stagstorm waiting on. He goes on down. He's trying to run on forward, going for Abed, low on life. Gets the Lotus up, but the Tornado was there and will take him out. But the rest of DC are still here and in good fighting shape, so they begin to move in and try to hit up the tier 3. Buybacks must come out now from coL if they're hoping to survive in this game number 2. There goes Swindles as well. The tier 3's already dropped. Mason, he's trying to move on forward and try to take down this Rax if he can. Meanwhile, for Rev getting jumped on from the back lines, it's going to be Firo moving in. Mason's going to be forced to pull off and try to help him out, and it turns into a 3-on-1. Z-Freak and Swindle, they're in the mix too, but it's Mason with a BKB and they can't do anything about it, so he simply clobbers him down. And that is going to be the finish off of Firo. He does buy back though. He comes back into action, hits him with the Tornado and the Ice Wall. Swindle able to blink back and away. Mason can barely move and he wants to go for the Rax, but then there's going to be another lasso. This grab onto Z-Freak, the pullback for Rev though. Himself now in trouble. Hit with a Tornado, he'll go down. Buyback from the Gyrocopter now. coL is pulling out everything they can to stay alive in this game, and it looks like they've been able to fend off DC for now. Chasing down Bulba. They will find the connection and find the finish there.
Did they just 5-man buyback? With the next fight, Lina still didn't die.
They 4-man bought back.
4-man bought back.
Yeah, so Lina didn't have to use buyback.
And there's a double damage sitting on top. Once Lina picks it up, I think that's...
Yeah, that was an unfortunate echo by Swindles. To be fair though, the fight already looked pretty bad to begin with.
Yeah, and I think Abed, he was popping his BKB about the same time that Swindles attempted jump anyways, so. It's hard to play Earthshaker when there's all this stuff around you have to keep track of to not get your Blink Dagger pinged. Fire on the ground, bristleback Qs. You've got Epicenter and an AoE that's not obvious either.
Alright, last chance for complexity, I guess. Double damage with Gyro.
I think there's absolutely the best play. Just go fight them on their side of the map. Like, you can't just say, we're gonna win 10 fights in a row holding our base.
Well, yeah, you got the DD.
Like, if you win a fight on their side of the map, then you can force them to buy back, and then you have an actual win condition that's real.
Yeah, every single successful engagement coL's been taking is when they initiate first.
No opportunity, it looks like right now, for the DD to find a good use in a fight against DC. DC have returned now. They leave Mason to kind of farm through this mid lane, but I'm sure for most, eyes are going to be on Roche, as he is going to be slated to come up in what looks like a minute and a half. So coL pressure the lane forward as best they can. Scout things out. Maybe still could take a fight on their side of the map. If they find that opportunity. Forev is close. But he has that gem.
Why is there not a single blade mail on the side of complexity? Imagine Lina being so farmed right now. She attacks so fast, so she can't stop the attacks. So you just pop a blade mail.
Oh, yeah, the enemy,
really
like, the attack is out there in the air. Can't stop it.
Who would buy one? Maybe the
Witch Doctor,
Witch Doctor Bounty Hunter.
Bountiful.
I mean, Jimmy doesn't really have the money to buy very much at this point.
Honestly, Baymo will probably be more effective than Yasha right now.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Eternal Envy would have bought it.
Move from DC here. They've smoked, they move in, they get the pop of the Lincolns, and then the lasso grab onto Firo. They're looking to pull out the Invoker. Stack Storm and Laguna. Still quite not enough. He gets the Ghost Walk and he's running out and away. One last long right click. It's not going to find its connection. Swindle moves in to slow them down with the help of a dunk, and it looks like they will be able to get the takedown of Abed. coL still trying to fight it out. Bulba, back line, big epicenter, scoots himself up to the high ground and away from trouble, but coL looks like might need a bailout move here. He's been glimpsed and pulled back into the arms of Mason. Mason will do his best to slowly wither down the gyrocopter, and there's no escape for him. Now a Fissure follow-up from Swindle, looking to move in, a Chant Totem, trying to burst through Bulba, and a buyback is going to be forced out from Forev. Two-man tornado, Firo's back into action here, gets the Sunstrike, still not enough yet for Bulba. Self-fuels, burrow across to the high ground, Swindle's there. Gets the connection, gets the finish. Forev now blinking in. While that happens, it's Mason getting kited between Z-Freak and Firo on the other end, while Swindle keeps Forev occupied. Mason just cannot make it through these ice walls and tries to get back into the fight. This time he's found the target, in for Swindle, but Z-Freak is trying to slow him down. Long tornado finds its mark onto Mason. The Sunstrike on the other side gets its mark onto Forev. Firo is just putting in the work in this long-winded fight.
Defend the base! Range Track's under attack, boys!
Holy shnikes,
no.
That's gone for sure. Oh my god, look at all those creeps.
Yeah, unfortunately that's a dieback for the Batrider, but you know, while Mason can't really stick on a target, none of these guys can really touch Mason.
Yeah.
He ends that fight full health, basically, like barely took a scratch.
Yeah. Well, now they can't move because it's Halberd plus, I mean, 2 extra passion that he didn't have the last fight.
Now DC just moving for the Roche after all that work. coL, do not want to let this one up. Firo is running that direction. Tornado goes out, but just a bit too late. coL are going to have to retreat, it looks like here, to DC as they have that extra life, and we'll give it to Abed, no surprise.
He sold the Bloodstone, went for Scotty on Lina just to buff up the stats. And, I mean, Gyro can't move, you can't move it.
Yeah, if he had that slow against the Invoker, he would have died last fight.
Because he would be in the range of Trigger Sight. Yeah, but with a Hex on Invoker, they can just lock her down. It's a 5-second BKB. Still, they have to do it twice.
One last Rax for DC to pull through.
coL got a pretty good push going in bottom. If they just touch up mid real quick, they can kind of push out and they might be able to find your initiation on DC once again.
We'll see if coL do something before that comes. They have been a smoke gank tizzy up to this point. Demon still holds one here. Could push out this mid lane a bit and then go for that unique kind of approach towards the top lane. There it is. Alright, coL, what is it going to be? One Rax still holding on in your dreams of just ending this in 2 games. But it looks like DC are already just pulling off here. Not sure if they have the idea this is happening based on not seeing anyone on the map, but they are not going to be close to coL.
Do you get the Thunderstrike damage on Disruptor?
What's his
Dubu did.
option?
It's plus 40 Thunderstrike damage. And that's for each strike, so it's 100 in total.
Yeah, but
having
a kinetic field 3 seconds before enough.
Engagement right now.
Hard move in. Bulba going to be the focus of this. They get the lasso grab onto Swindle as he gets dragged back in. Mason's going to hit him with the Abyssal Blade, and they're going to try to finish him off before he can get any sort of dunk off, and they will be successful with it. Swindle out. No buyback on this. It's
what a
hero!
Dubu.
Jeez, Dubu just lays down a godly Static Storm that traps the 3 of them from within. Demon is going to be the first low target to go down. Firo is trying to muscle away the opponent's support, and Dubu is still not going to be finished here. It looks like they will get the better end. Onto Firo. All of Complexity, with the exception of that man there, has no buyback. It's only Firo to defend the base.
Good heart Complexity, but
not enough.
You had to win again. You had to win like 10 fights in a row. They won like 4 in a row.
And still six more needed. Kind of hard to pull off.
Alright, we get some godly 5-man meteor, deafening blast, gyro ulti.
Very nice.
So dumb.
3-man ulti there by Dubu.
Yeah, he's played much better this game. Like I like his decision to rotate early.
They just can't stop him. They just do too much. Megas are going to be unleashed, and coL are they're going to go for any possible opportunity in this game. They'll wait things out to see if they can get as many people available for one final hurrah, but this is looking like DC have earned their ticket into a Game 3 of this lower bracket final. Last tier 4 is down, and now it's all on the Ancient here. Mason already begins to go to work, but then they find their opportunity to make the grab onto Moo. These guys BKB pop, but they pull him right in and under a Static Storm. He will slowly be burnt away, and then Firo should be next. At this point, the towel surely must be thrown in, and there it goes. Complexity will fourth bid this one over, and it is going to be a Game 3 lower bracket final matchup between DC and Complexity. Woo!
Bristol Black just too strong. And I mean, it was just a hero that set the whole entire tempo. Like Complexity pick up a lineup that wants to be able to get kills. For example, the